on three, two, one. All right. So welcome to Kid Got Your Ticket. This is we are live today with Luis Victoria. All right. Welcome, brother. How have you been, bro? It's been a long
Oh,
time.
bro.
We don't.
Oh, it's an honor to be with you here, man. It's a pleasure to see you. I am doing very well despite this pandemic, but,
Crazy stuff,
very,
huh?
yeah, crazy thing and elections, many stuff here, a lot of stuff here
And
in this year.
that
But,
we haven't
yeah,
hanged out since before the pandemic, where you came with your family and we hanged out here. We had a little barbecue and stuff like that. That was the last time we basically
yeah,
hanged out with each other, right?
yeah,
But
time flight, man.
but a lot has happened with you, right? So I've spoken to a couple of people, and I wanted to speak to you because you're one of the people that has made kind of a transformation, right, to something positive, and hasn't let this crazy pandemic, take you for a ride, or stop you from moving forward or achieving your dreams. But you freaking you first of all, you're a black belt, right? For those people listening that don't know, this guy is a certified legit black belt, right? He's got some amazing kicks, and we've actually in the past we did some seminars together, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's
Remember
true.
that?
Thank you so much for your words, my friend. Thank you so much.
But remember we did those seminars back in the days at the dojo with your kids and my kids and who was it, Damien's kids, right? I
I
think too.
remember, I remember perfectly. Yeah, it was about like 5 years ago. Time flies, man. Very positive to know, very happy to know people like you, to know friends like you. I think it's more than people, friends.
Especially
I'm
now,
very
right?
proud of that, man. I'm very proud. You are an excellent person too. You are an excellent, you are a role model for me,
Thanks, brother.
by the way.
Appreciate it.
So, yeah, as you say, despite the difficulties, the obstacles that many people they say that are difficulties, but I have seen these obstacles, if you can say that,
Yeah.
as opportunities. I think this year, it has been very, very, very particular year for everyone and very hard, but I think overall it has been one of the best year for me. I don't know
Good for
why.
you, brother.
you
Well,
know, it has
now,
been very good.
now,
Ironically,
so I don't know. Some people in our circle of friends, they might know you as, the martial artist, the sensei, but you don't look like you're dressed as in a sensei karate gi right now.
oh,
What the
you,
fuck is going on? What is that? Tell me about this
you
stuff. What's
know,
going on?
that's a good question, my friend. You know why, bro? Because karate is inside me 100%. Despite that I have other profession, but karate is my life. It's a way of life.
Of course. No matter
However,
what you do, right?
no matter what, yeah, of course. I am doing everything that I am doing in my life is karate. Is the way of that do. I consider that karate is part of my life and my discipline, my perseverance, my attitude. I encourage myself thinking in martial arts in karate.
So what
So
are you doing now?
that's why I think I never give up, and me for many years, and I have seen this obstacles of this particular difficulties as opportunities, as I say,
Yeah.
and also I think I also I have been maintaining my body, my mind with the Zoom classes.
So you still teaching karate?
I still teach some karate, not
Okay.
like before, because unfortunately I had to close the physical address, the physical location. But well,
Me
yeah,
too, man. I definitely also had to go ahead and close down the physical location as well.
yeah. Unfortunately, I say because I don't have my dojo. These dojos are the place in which we are trained karate for life. Unfortunately, I don't have it, but we have
So
technology, and still I have, you know. like 12 students, and I have been doing karate for 3 times per week, pretty much.
Okay. And
So
so you're teaching still Zoom, right? Are you doing classes through Zoom?
yeah, exactly. Still, I have my students there,
Good.
and they, I think, as Trump say, they love me.
Everybody loves you. Everybody loves
Everybody
you.
love me.
Everybody loves you.
Exactly.
So now,
Just kidding, my friend.
no
Not
man,
talking about
everybody does
anything.
love you, man. Get out of here with that. Everybody loves you, man. You're a
Thank
good
you, my
guy.
friend.
But now, what else are you doing that besides teaching the martial arts? So what is this? I see you with a suit. You have a nice suit in. You look. It doesn't look like a karate dojo where you're at right now. What are you doing, bro? Tell me.
Well, yeah, well, bro, it's a very particular combination because I am lawyer. I am
Oh
attorney.
shit!
So,
You're an
yeah.
attorney. And
Yeah,
how long have you been now? Hold on. I think you used to be an attorney way back, right? A long time ago, right? So the experience has always been there. But now you're an
yeah,
attorney here in the United States, right?
correct. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I mean, I still attorney in Colombia, but once I moved here, you know me, I start with my karate because it's my passion.
Yeah.
And actually, I came here with the EB1 visa with the extraordinary abilities through karate. So
Okay.
I start my dojo, I start my karate school. However, I was thinking in to continue my career because I like law too.
Yeah.
So and I saw this opportunity also for my future, for the future of my family, my daughter, my wife, and everything. So and I finished here in St. Thomas University, and I passed the bar exam. Now I am working as an
Good
attorney,
for
but
you,
I am
brother.
karateka overall. You know.
Of course, of course. Now, but let me ask you: Are you the same type? Are you in the same type of law that you were in Colombia as you are here, or is different law completely?
No, bro. I mean, in Colombia, we don't have, we have different laws. First of all, the composition of the country is totally different because in Colombia we have only one republic. It means one system, but here is crazy. Here is crazy. I mean, crazy for everything. So,
Yeah.
but especially in law, in the legal system, we have two systems: the federal one and the states ones. It means that we have like 50 states, 50 legal systems, and one big system, which is the
Here.
federal. Yeah, here. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
And when you talk about you are gringo, my friend.
I am a gringo.
Many people they don't know that, but I understand you because this is very complex. So only normally the civics, the education that you receive in school and
Yeah.
elementary and everything. But this is a little bit more complex thing because we have a huge system, which is the federal one. We can do something like an example, like this is the federal law, and the state's laws are, like the children, the kids.
Got
So,
it.
and we have 50 kids, which is Florida is a child, So, and here we are pretty much a country here in Florida. Texas is another country. New York,
Because we
your
have our
country,
own laws,
your
right?
country.
We have our own laws. We have laws
Exactly.
that don't, like, for instance, in Oregon right now, they just legalized heroin, crack, cocaine.
Oh, that's
They
terrible.
did,
That's
like,
terrible.
they just went
Yeah,
completely off the
correct.
reservation.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it's not legal in Florida. But in Colombia,
Right.
if they were to do something legal, it'll be across the whole country.
Yeah, first of all, each of these states, they have their own constitutions. That's why they are countries, pretty much. So in Colombia, we have only one constitution and several like laws, but there is only one law for the entire country. So, but here we have laws for Florida, laws for Georgia, laws for Oregon, like you say. So, in other words, it's crazy,
So
and
if they make crack legal in Bogota, it's going to be legal in Cali también.
yeah, I mean, pretty much, they cannot do. Oh my God, yeah, that will be terrible, man. I mean, actually, we have the marijuana thing, the personal use thing,
Oh, it's
and
legal in Colombia.
yeah, that's very polemic. That was a very, very, very hard thing for everyone because I was something like many people they didn't agree with that, but
Yeah, because
they legalized that.
it's still kind of old fashioned over there, right? Where people kind of see it as a
Yeah,
taboo. They're like, no, el marihuanero es malo. Ese marihuanero es un vago. Ese lo van a robar a uno, right?
correct,
That's how
correct.
they
Yeah,
kind of see it over there, right?
that's true. That's true. That's why that's what I am doing here. Doing
So what kind of law are you doing here?
federal law, which is immigration law,
Immigration
but
law?
I practice some other state laws because I am from Florida
The
from
Florida
Florida.
bar.
So therefore, I can do whichever is related to the state law. So, but I cannot do something like from Texas laws, for example.
Correct.
I
Yes.
have to counsel with another person, another colleague or
So
something like that. But in the level of the federal system, I can do whatever, because I
so
am lawyer here.
so you can do, so for instance, if I'm just throwing out an example, if I was to get a speeding ticket and I need a lawyer, could a person like you help me? Or
Yeah, sure.
you could.
Yeah, I
So
can. I
so
can do.
if I stab somebody, I'm not saying I'm going to stab anybody. I don't want to stab anybody, but let's say I
You
stab
punch.
somebody
Pretty much,
and I
you
need a
punch.
criminal a defense lawyer.
Yeah.
Could you be able to help somebody in that predicament?
Yeah, in theory I can do it, but in practice it's like a, I don't know if I can talk about the homologation with Karari or something like that.
Of
The
course,
example.
man. Talk
Oh,
about,
I
yeah.
mean, we are not going to deal like a Shotokan and Goyoryu,
That's even more
So
serious than the law.
that's very serious conversation, bro.
All
This is
right.
going to be for
What?
next time.
You said Goju Ryu. What?
Let me see how I do my
Yeah,
mawashi.
right.
So and so we talk
So when you
about
focus on one style, that's the only style you focus on.
normally, yeah.
Okay,
If
got it.
otherwise, it's going to be very tough to be black belt in Shotokan, black belt in Goju-Ryu, black belt in Shitoryu,
You'll be a
and whatever.
horrible black belt,
Yeah, I think so.
right? Or
So
but in Colombia, did you practice all law or did you focus on one particular aspect of the law,
I I focus on a particular aspect, which
but not
was
immigration?
contract law. No, because I
Nobody
mean,
immigrates to Colombia.
you respond, you respond. No, now yes, a lot of Venezuelans, my friend, a lot
Now a
of
lot of
Venezuelans.
Venezuelans. Listen,
I'm not,
dude, I'm glad I have you here. And so
oh my
nobody's
God.
immigrating to Colombia right now. That's crazy. But
I
I
would
want
like now to go into Colombia.
now I want to ask you now. You lived in Colombia, of course, for a whole bunch of years, right? And
Mhm.
that before you came to the United States. Now, I've never really lived in Colombia. Like I've never lived out there. I visited a long time ago when I was a kid. My mom used to take me out there every year and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I'm planning on leaving South Florida. Like that's in my plans. Like, I closed the business down. That's done. Of course, I'm doing Zoom and it's doing great. So now I can basically teach from anywhere in the world, right? And
That's
because it's Zoom, it's technology. So like you said, right?
no
But
limits.
Colombia was an idea I had that maybe it would be good to try it out. Now, you being that you live there and is it fucked up for me to live over there right now, or do you think it'll be cool for me to live over there?
Also, you say that it will be a good idea for you to move to Colombia to live there. You
Yeah,
say
for like a year.
that will be fantastic, my friend.
You think
That will
so?
be awesome. Yeah, I mean, we have a
Depends where I
need.
live, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I will give you the perfect assistance.
And be freaking honest, man. I want you to be honest. Like if you tell me, hey, listen, you're going to go over there and they're going to freaking, because of course my parents and my wife's parents, they're like,
Yeah.
no,
Ah,
aquí lo secuestran a uno.
uh,
And I'm like,
I mean,
what the? There's so many people living over there that they're not getting sequestered.
oh my God, yeah, a lot of people from America to and other countries. So, by the way, I mean, we have cities like Cartagena, Santa Marta,
I was thinking,
I don't know.
you know what I was thinking about?
Depends on the weather, bro. Depends on the kind of city that you would like to live. Actually, Cali is a little bit hot in all of
Dude,
the
I heard
aspects.
Cali. I went to
Uh,
Cali like
it's
15
tough,
years ago. It's fucking ugly,
beautiful.
bro. I went over there.
Yeah.
That thing's a dump. But you know where I was thinking about going to was somewhere in El Eje Cafetero.
Oh my God, my bro, that's one of my dreams. You
The
you took me there.
mountains, seeing the mountains there and La
No, no,
Cordi.
no, no, no. It's something like surreal. And also, actually, why not to have a dojo there in the middle of the forest and
Yeah.
something like that? It will be something fantastic. And I think I recommend you that area. That place is
But would it
amazing.
be? Do you think I would like it? Because I'm now. Please remember, I've never lived out there. Like I've gone there for like a summer. We went to the Confamiliar. We had a good time. We rode a couple of horses, and then I came back. So I always saw it as fun for me because it was only a month. But vacation and living are two different things.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true. It's like going backwards too. If you come here to Disney, as a tourist, for
Yeah.
example, from Colombia to United States, it's totally different when you are going to live here. So it happened with me too. I was a tourist at that time, like 15 or 12 years ago.
And you loved
So
it.
yeah, no, I love it. I always have loved the United States,
And
but
once you
at
got
that
here, a camellar.
a camellar.
No more vacation.
That's
That's
true. There are
it.
no more
It's done.
vacations. That's true. That's true. I mean, the good thing is that I always have been a hard worker. So for people who maybe they haven't been involved in the hard working thing,
Yeah.
it's very hard to move to United States because United States is totally different system. The identity crisis and also the way of life is totally different. Actually, it depends on the part of the city or the country where you are going to live, because if we live here in Miami, it's not the same thing like living in a county area.
Of course
So
not.
it's very
Yeah.
different. It's the same thing if you're going to live, bro,
In un pueblo.
in Bogota, or living in the Hey Cafetero, so it's totally different way of life,
Yeah, I don't want to live in a big city. I don't want that.
no, 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 no.
I'm
I
done
mean,
with
El
that.
Cafetero is the best, bro,
Yeah.
because it's the perfect place to live with a good quality of life. It's like living here, like in the Smoky Mountains, something like that,
Got it.
kind of.
Yes. Yeah, like
But if you
Tennessee,
look
the
around, you can see all of like the coffee plantations. So something like that. It's going to be very, very good experience. Actually, if you do like that, I'm going to follow you maybe in
you're
a
gonna
couple
follow
of
me out
years.
there. Good, good, good. Okay, now
Yeah.
now here's my only concern, right? Now,
In a,
I'm somewhere in the middle. Like I'm not a full liberal and I'm not a full right, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I
And
know.
but I believe in owning guns for my protection.
Yeah, Second Amendment, correct.
Yes. Can I have
I
guns
believe to. Yeah.
legally in Colombia?
Well, those
Because I know
are
all the bad guys do.
yes, bro. I mean, those things are the issues that I have seen in my life in both in Colombia in
Uh,
general, because you see that like there is no balance there in that aspect, because you see the bad people, the bad guys, they have access to the guns
yeah.
illegally, of course, but
Of course. Yeah.
they are armored like a military corps,
Yeah.
so actually they have more more guns than the
Than the
military,
actual than the actual police.
the
Wow.
actual police and
But
militaries.
can
So,
I
but
take my guns from here?
I mean, you can have it. You can apply for that. You can have a license, but it's a little bit difficult to have it. But I think you are able to have it. But it is not the same thing like here, because here there is an amendment and it
Yeah.
is mandatory
Yeah.
to apply that amendment for you. You have the right, a constitutional right. But there is not a constitutional right. It's like a kind of
A
like
privilege.
a law, a privilege, pretty much, instead of like a right. So I think that's one of my concerns. The other concern is that if you ask me for my opinion, so you're a gringo man. So
Yeah.
if you haven't, and your wife too, because I know her, and say hi to her and
I
your and
will.
your little champion, please.
Thanks,
Okay.
brother, for
Actually,
sure.
he's so big, man. I,
Yeah, man,
I, I
he's
saw
freaking
him the
huge,
other
bro.
day. Oh my God.
He's
Wow.
big, dude.
Well, we are not so huge, man.
I'm not so. We're Colombian. We're
We're
Colombian, so we're not
Colombian.
that tall.
But the best quality of perfumes, they come in a very, very tiny,
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
containers.
That's what
So
short people say, right?
that's a very, very nice time for you, man.
uh,
So,
so could I
as I
take my guns from here over there?
I don't think so. I
I would
don't
have to
think
get them over there.
Yeah. I mean, the other concern is that, as I told you before, I think it is going to be a very, very a huge impact for a person like you who is a gringo, pretty much.
Yeah.
So living in a totally different system, like, and in the same example, like I gave you before, like I was coming here as a tourist and then living here
It's
as a
different.
real, in the real life, experiencing like a hardworking thing, the language, because I didn't speak the language 10 years ago. Things like those ones
Yeah.
is very tough. But for you, it's not, the language is not a limited thing
The
because you know
language would,
Spanish.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
speak Spanish.
However, but in other aspects, like the access for material things, or the system itself, you know, like everything is punctual, or you have the right, you can talk, you can claim your rights pretty much. So
Yeah.
in Colombia, it's not like the rights doesn't exist, but it's more difficult dealing with that aspect, and
But
also,
can you
uh, you know,
can you pay debajo de la mesa?
under the table. Well, it depends.
Of who you talking to and how hungry they are.
Yeah. I mean,
But so do
yeah.
people hunt in Colombia? Like, do they go out hunting? Is that like a sport?
Something. I mean, I think. I mean, I remember
Because
when
if you
I,
hunt, you got to own guns.
yeah, when my father was alive. I was. I am talking about like a 30 or no more. I think 40 years ago. I was a very tiny guy. So, I mean, it's still very tiny,
You're still
but.
very tiny.
By the way, so but when I was with my dad at that time, I think it was like my daughter, 7, 8 years old, something like that. So we were to hand, we
Really?
were like little birds, things. I mean, that's
And did you
actually
have
still.
a rifle?
Yeah, he has a rifle. I
Hmm.
remember that.
So
He
if
had
you
a,
live in like in
had
a
a-
farm or in a campo,
I
can you
think you can
have?
have the rifle. Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to live
sure.
in a city because then it's understandable. It might be harder for you to get access to a gun unless you get it
You can have the
illegally.
rifle.
But if you
I
live in the farm and you need it to maybe, you know, is there mountain lions out there? There has to be mountain lions out there, right?
yeah.
And puma, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah, right.
we have actual bears, and we have other type of animals.
But like predators, like you have to defend yourself against predators, right?
Of course, yeah,
And
and to protect your family too.
yeah,
But I think I am more concerned not from the animals, but from the like criminals. I mean, at that
no, but
time
to
when I
use
was.
that as an excuse to say, hey, listen, I like to hunt.
Oh yeah.
I bought this big farm. It has 30 acres, and I want to go hunting on my land for pig or for stuff like that. And my knife skills are not that good, so I want to get a gun. Like, can that help me get a gun in Colombia?
I think it can be one of the like arguments that you can have to apply for an again illegal again.
Yeah, because I mean, if I live in Bogota or Medellin or a city like that in an apartment,
It's more difficult, yeah,
they're like,
because
hey, I want to get a shotgun. Like, why? You live in an apartment, you know?
why exactly? Yeah, that's
But
true.
if I live in a
Uh,
farm and there's
yeah,
pigs and I want to kill them, wild pigs. Are there wild pigs in Colombia? Yeah, right. It's wild pigs all over the place, right?
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, all
You
over the
know,
place.
and
So
you
I
know,
mean, I think the the situation in Colombia in general, we have a better country than before. Of course, unfortunately, we have had some issues with the, we had some issues with the last president.
yeah.
He was very, permissible with the guerrilla again, and they
Who
took
was the
again
previous
some
president? The
Santos.
and the
Santos.
president now is who?
It's a Banduque.
Ivan Duque. Okay,
So
got it.
that guy is kind of like a
Progressive.
recommendation from Uribe. So Uribe was
Oh,
fantastic. I mean, and many people they disagree maybe, but many others, as like me, we like him because he changed the way of life and he recovered one more time the like the fields, the mountains,
yeah,
because we had a lot of guerrilla and
yeah.
criminals everywhere. So and at that time, where was when I was living there, and the life changed completely, like
Really,
180 degrees. But then later, when this
Santos.
President Santos took again the power, I know for the first time the power,
Mm.
so he went backwards again.
So
So
it's
it
like New
was
York, like when Giuliani
kind of.
was became
Kind of,
mayor, he cleaned up New York, and then now you got
kind
De
of.
Blasio right now, and he's fucking up New York all over the place.
Oh my God, that's terrible. No, I hear
They just closed the
many
schools.
people are living from there. Actually, yesterday or a couple of days ago, I talked with a friend of mine that he's living in Manhattan. So
Mhm.
he told me the same thing, and he's very concerned. I have another friend too next to the that tower,
The Freedom
the
Tower.
Freedom
Uh-huh.
Tower, and that guy told me the same thing. And he's thinking of moving on February to Fort Lauderdale. So and
Yeah,
it
and they're
happened,
all coming to Florida.
yeah, to Florida, by the way.
They're all
So
coming to Florida, yeah. So
yeah, no,
that's
I
good
love.
for us because they're used to paying really high prices in New York. So when they
Yeah,
get here, they can keep paying high prices here too.
correct, correct. Yeah, I mean, may I respond this guy because 1 second, Hermes, estoy en este momento en un podcast en directo con un sensei amigo. Ya te llamo. Bueno, I'm sorry, bro.
No, no worries.
So, the thing is, many people they think that the hard like application of the law, the if you apply the law strictly, you are very very disciplined with the law, you are bad. I think not. I mean, I like the application of law,
Yeah.
a reasonable application of the law.
So where would you rather be at now? Would you rather be in New York that they're really strict on the law, or would you rather be here in Florida where DeSantis is like, we're not closing, we're keeping Florida open?
I like here. I
I
mean,
like it here too, right? It's, I mean,
sure,
and
because we need to continue life. I mean, despite that,
I agree.
this pandemic and the hard times, as I told at the beginning, bro. I mean, we have to continue life. I mean, this pandemic things they have been for years in the history of the human being, and now we have another one, but we have different resources. I have here that there are a couple of vaccines coming,
Two
so things
vaccines
like this
coming, Moderna and Pfizer.
95% of effectiveness and everything. So I mean, that
But
happened for the first time in the history, very
but
quick.
here's so the thing with that thing. How long
Mhm.
is it going to last for? The vaccine.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
what nobody knows because
um,
I followed all the rules, man. I did everything. I closed down the business. I didn't go out. I did social distancing. I did everything. And guess what? I went to go donate blood and I came back positive for antibodies. That means I had COVID
wow.
and I didn't even know I had it.
Imagine that.
So
So
I followed everything. And now they're talking about doing a home test for the coronavirus, but you're going to need a prescription to get the test. Like,
yeah.
why would you need a prescription to find out if you're sick?
Wow. Yeah.
Like, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like that forever, but as of right now, if the FDA approves it, you're going to need to have a prescription. It's like, imagine having to get a prescription to find out if you're pregnant.
Imagine that.
Like,
I saw
oh,
today. I saw today a meme. It was pretty fan. From the guy from the World Health Organization. This guy,
uh,
the ethics guy.
yeah.
So someone say like, okay, this guy say, okay, the mask is not effective. The social distance is not effective. So keeping many measures are not effective.
Uh,
And someone say like, you are a wife.
you are a wife.
You are a wife, man. No, never happening.
Never happening.
Ju- Just kidding.
But you know
So
what?
no,
But you know what they're saying? They're also saying that even if you get the vaccine, you're still gonna have to wear a mask.
yeah, no. I mean the mask.
But
I hear this president,
so why get a vaccine
yeah, the
if you're gonna
elected
be wearing a
president.
mask anyway?
He said that he's going to meet with the whole, the governors of the
Are
50
you gonna
states.
get the vaccine?
Oh, me?
I put you on
Probably.
the spot. I put you on the spot.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, it's going to be tough decision, but I think I will prefer to wait at least some months
To find out if
to
anybody starts
see
dying.
to see how
If people
many
start dying,
people
I'm not getting
die,
the vaccine.
or maybe with a lot of hair, or I don't know,
Right? They
something
grew a
crazy.
third ear, a third
The,
limb. Now,
well,
if they Hey, listen, if the vaccine makes you taller, I'm definitely going to take it.
Well, immediately, man. I mean,
Immediately. I'll be the
immediately.
first one in line.
Big muscles.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
a
Just
younger guy.
it has
I'm
testosterone on it. You know,
I'm very handsome, man. I
yeah,
mean,
right.
immediately. I mean, oh, I think it's going to be a very difficult decision because we have kids. So I have been talking this with my wife, and she said the same thing. I would prefer Dr. Fauci, to see Dr.
Yeah,
Fauci
yeah, yeah.
to see if that guy received the shot, and
But
then.
you know what's the scary thing, though, right? So the scary thing is that how about if, in order for you to be part of society, like go to work, go to school,
Yeah.
like for our kids. Hey, can I see if your kid has the vaccine? Oh, he doesn't have the vaccine. Well, they can only do online school. They cannot
Kind of
do
a
in person.
discrimination,
Huh?
kind of like a discrimination
Yeah.
too. So it's the life is changing, man. I mean, especially I am worried, no, not for us because we are adults, but
Yeah.
for our kids because our kids are, like passing this like a pandemic times, challenging times, and it's going to mark their lives forever and their next generation too. So it's going to be very hard for them to overcome all this stuff, especially the like the thing that they are not interacting physically. You and me, we know that we grew up with other system, with other, like interacting with people, with friends.
But we already know how to learn, which means
We
that
already know that, so
for them
we
it's hard because now they have to learn
correct. I mean,
through a
uh,
screen, and that's very difficult to do. We
correct.
know how to learn. We learn. We already went to in-person school.
Yeah, I mean, the other day I was talking with someone like, I mean, a child needs to run, to fall, so to going to climb a tree or something like that.
Yeah, but who
Things
wants to
like
do
this.
that when they have Xbox?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I hate it.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. If we would have had the Xbox One and the new PlayStation that just came out when we were kids, we wouldn't have been running either. We would have been stuck in a room playing those amazing videos. Have you seen the graphics in these things? I mean,
It's
I don't like
incredible,
playing them,
man. It's
but my
incredible.
son does. It's amazing, man.
It's amazing. It's
How can you
amazing.
compete climbing a tree to hanging out with all your friends with a headset, playing with kids like my son? I give him about 45 minutes to an hour a day for him to play, right? And he plays with all the kids that used to go to the dojo. And he's
Uh,
talking with them, he's interacting with them, he's socializing, he's doing missions, he's doing this. So I understand the bad part of it, but I also see the good part of it, because they're socializing, man. They're talking and they're planning and they're teaming up and doing against another team to be able, like, especially like with Fortnite and stuff like that, because that's what my boy plays. Like my boy
what's the
plays
name of that? What's the name of that, bro?
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Okay,
Yeah.
that's excellent. Wow. No,
But
I
I
mean,
mean, they're killing each other and stuff like that. Like they're destroying each other.
that's
But
part of the game. It's
it's
part of the
part of the
game.
game. But they're strategizing and
Interacting.
they're building and they're, hey man, you need to come this way. We're gonna be meeting at this place. And like we think they're not socializing. They're just socializing at a level that we never did. They're
Of
socializing
course.
at a level that when we used to socialize, we used to go meet at a friend's house with the bicycles. All right, now let's go to the park and play
True, true.
soccer.
That's true. It's
It
another
was
life.
different.
That's
Now,
correct.
now they meet virtually instead of going
Yeah.
out and meeting physically. I don't
But
know.
at least they have that opportunity because let's say like 100 years ago when that pandemic occurred, like at the beginning of the last
Yeah,
century, so they didn't
1912, right?
have that opportunity. They even didn't know how many people they were infected. They
I
they,
had
they
no
didn't
idea.
know that. But today we have a lot of resources, technology, even material things, especially here in US, where I mean it's impossible to stop life here
Yeah,
in
no.
this at
And they
this moment.
tried, and
Yeah,
they're
that's
trying,
incredible.
and it's crazy, man. I mean, during
No,
the whole quarantine, when this quarantine started, my son never skipped a beat. Like he played with all his friends, not physically,
no,
but he played with all his friends online. And I told
virtually.
him, dude, are you okay? Are you doing good with the quarantine, not being able to go out? He's like, yeah, dad, I'm fine. I love this. I can hang out here all day.
Oh
He,
yeah. I
but
mean,
he
I
did
think
gain weight. he did gain some weight. Like he gained like he became a little fat boy. And I told him about it. I said, dude, you're getting kind of chunky there because he was in soccer. He was doing karate. He was competing in karate. He was doing this, so he was in good shape. Like the boy had abs. Now I put him back to work out, and of course he's 11 years old, so he lost like 10 pounds like really fast, and now he's got kind of his abs again and stuff like that. But
Wow,
for a while, it's good being young. When
that's
you're young, you can get back in shape really fast.
yeah, no, I mean, we kind of stop, we kind of close everything. For example, my daughter is doing now ballet, karate, and a piano, and she's very happy. I mean, I talked with her
What
yesterday. We were playing
what
the
dojo is
entire.
she going to?
I mean,
The what
yeah,
dojo is she going to?
the Zoom
With you?
with
Oh, she goes to
Zoom.
your dojo.
Yeah,
You,
it's
I know. I'm
Zoom
just
Zoom
kidding.
classes.
I'm kidding.
No,
I thought
your other sense in
the,
Hialeah.
it's going over there, right? She's going over there.
By the way, very good senses too.
There's very
So,
good senses in Hialeah. Shout out to them. Hopefully, we can get. I'm going to see if I can get some of those guys on the podcast too and talk with them.
that's
But
awesome. That's awesome.
hey, I was going to ask you with so supposedly Biden wins, right? Biden won. Do you feel that Biden being the new president is that going to help you in your new career as an immigration lawyer? Is it going to be better or worse, or is that have no effect on you?
That's a million question, bro. Because the thing is, he promised a lot of stuff, but in the real life, he's not going to be able to do that because he needs something that we call by Paris, So he needs the Congress in his favor,
That's
So
right.
and now we already know that it's 50-50. Pretty much, Senate is Republican and the other one is Democrat.
You
So
know what that
it's going to be very tough for him to have a law to legalize 11 million people, for example. It's very tough. It's very hard. Based on like the expectations that everyone has, is going to be very difficult for him, like as he promised, to change 900 executive orders that President Trump signed during 4 years. So imagine that 900 executive orders, which are like a kind of like a laws that
yeah.
he made in 100 days is impossible, bro.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know,
It's
he
impossible
needs
to do
he
it.
needs help. He needs help, and also I see. I mean, without discrimination and nothing, but he doesn't look very, very active. He's pretty much a little bit big, a little bit old.
He's
So
78 years old, man.
77 years old, I think so. So
Yeah, but he's
it's
going to be
going to
78
be.
in November. He's going to be 78 years old this month.
It means that 82 years old when he will finish the presidency.
Listen,
So
you
it's
know
going to.
laws. You know laws, and you're a lawyer. And of course, you know that in order to be the president of the United States, you have to be minimum 35 years old. Minimum, right? So we have a minimum age to be president. Why can't we have a maximum age
Maximum,
to be
maximum.
president?
Yeah,
Because I
I think
think
it,
anything 75 and over, I think you're too old, man. You
difficult.
have old ideas, man. You
I
have
mean, as
old
in the
ideas.
thinking like a common sense. So people are retiring like 70, 72, 70. I think even younger than that.
Yeah.
People are retiring to here to Palm Beach and all of this
And
area.
Naples, yeah.
So yeah, Naples, actually people younger than that. I have here people 60s, 50s actually living their
Yeah,
life now,
yeah. Now,
retirement. So
how
and 75 and this amazing nation, which is the most powerful nation in the world, at that age is very tough unless that they thought like the real president is going to be Harris. I think
now
so.
I'm sorry. And with Kamala Harris, right? I know she's a lawyer and you're a lawyer, so there's got to be some sort of, you got to kind of root for the lawyer, but I don't like her, man. I personally, I don't like Kamala Harris. She's done a lot of bad things
I didn't
for
like.
for her
I
own
don't.
people, and she's put a lot of like she wanted to do. One thing I read was that she wanted to go ahead and put parents of kids who did truancy, who cut out of school, in jail in California. And I mean, like, just her tactics is very, very. They're tough, man. You know who I would have
Yeah.
liked? to be vice president, or at least in the cabinet, Tulsi.
Yeah.
Tulsi, she was a Navy commander, I believe. And man, the way that woman spoke and the way she handled herself and her ideas and stuff like that. But the Democratic Party, they didn't stand behind her. Like, I think
Yeah.
that would have been a good candidate.
I'm thinking in other, like decisions that Democrats they have uh, done during the past. For example, many people say, "Okay, Trump deport many people. He is a bad guy." But you say, if you bring out the reports, that the data. So who is the president who has been deporting more people in the history? Obama. You know,
Yeah.
3.5 million people during his, like a presidential. So
Administration, yeah.
many people they don't know that, but they say that Trump was the bad guy. The other thing is that no, President Trump was the guy who built the cage for the children in the
It wasn't
border
him,
of
it was the
Mexico.
Obama administration.
It was Obama too. So,
Yeah.
but the thing is that this guy is trying to put everything in, in order, because as an attorney, I see that. Not only me, but the statistics says that, for example, many people they have abuse from the asylum requests, asylum petitions,
Yeah.
with fraudulent petitions, frivolous petitions, things like those ones,
Yeah.
misrepresentations, things like those ones during many years. So, and he just did the right thing. Going to put this in order, and that's it. But if you are winning the presidential because you say that you are going to provide to 11 million illegal people documents, that's only politics. Because who is going to approve that? It's going to be very difficult. It's
Yeah.
going to be
That's right.
very difficult for the Congress to approve that, because there is 50-50 now, and many people, they don't want that, and they are representing the other 50% of people in the United States. Remember that the reports, the last results, they say that, for example, Biden won for 1 point, for 49.5, and Trump had, for example, in that state, I think it was Nevada or something,
Yeah.
he had 49.1, for example, things like those ones. It's very, very divided, so it's very tough.
Dude, it's crazy how, and
It's crazy time.
it's a
It's crazy
crazy time
time.
we're living here in America, man. Like, you have,
Yeah.
a president that's accusing another elect president of fraud, and 70 million people believe it,
Correct.
and then you have, like, we're so divided right now. And at first, when, like, I couldn't believe when Trump first became president. At first I was like, holy shit, Trump, he's president of the United States. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke, right? But
Yeah.
then, but then, uh, then I started changing my mind. I was like, okay, you know what? This dude, he's actually doing good. He says the most craziest things. And I
Yeah.
think that's what ruined him, because he said a lot of crazy things, right? And he did a
Yeah.
lot
He
of crazy
didn't
actions.
keep his mouth, something like
He
that.
can't keep his mouth closed, right? And when Biden won, I couldn't believe Biden won, because in a
Oh,
moment of a pandemic or war or something like that, usually the sitting president is the one that wins. But not in this
yeah.
case. In this case, it is gonna change, and I can't believe Biden won. Like, I'm still in shock.
Uh,
I personally don't like Biden for a couple of things, but that will be a whole another podcast that we can
yeah.
speak.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
because there's a lot of things, there's a lot of
Yeah, a lot
things.
of stuff, a lot of stuff. And like you say, bro,
There's a lot of bad things with Trump and a lot of bad things with Biden.
it's logic. It's like, for example, if you have a business or something like that, it's going to take some time until you have the things in order
Yeah.
accordingly to your new rules, or what you think is better for that company. But if at this point, when you are almost like trying to have a better structure or something like that,
Yeah.
a new CEO came or something like that, is very tough, because you didn't have continuity to
Yeah.
to get the results. You know,
That's right.
the
That's right. That's
company
right.
is going to be down again.
Dude, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know where the country's heading at this moment because we're like in such limbo, and this guy's coming in with some crazy ideas. I'm not saying the previous guy didn't have crazy ideas, but this guy's got like crazy ideas too. And there was already word of another shutdown for like, 4 to 6 weeks again for the entire country. And that's crazy, man. You know what? You want to know why that's crazy? Because like, I'm going to use myself as an example, right? I have a business, right? And the government tells me you have to shut down. But then the bank that holds the mortgage on my landlord, they don't have to shut down, and they can still continue charging my landlord mortgage and interest. So what does my landlord have to do? My landlord has to go ahead and charge me rent, but I cannot make an income to pay my landlord to pay the mortgage, to pay the bank. But they have to make it somewhere fair. And nobody's seeing that the banks are just sitting back and going, yeah, you guys still got to pay me, bitches. You guys still got to pay. You guys still got to pay me. And that's not
Yeah.
fair.
And
Because
actually,
why?
that was one of the decisions of this mayor that we had, Jimenez,
Yes.
that he stopped the evictions, but then later on, you know, continue. You can continue living there. Continue living there. You have to pay at the end of the day. You know,
Yes,
so
but
even
but the
though
thing
they
was
stopped
that
the evictions, but once they left the evictions, they finished that like
they can come in and evict
reimbursement.
them anyway.
You have to pay. The other day, at the beginning of the rule, many people they came here to my office and, hey, help me because I am a tenant, and this guy needs that I pay the rent. You have to pay it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
unfortunately.
but the thing is that they cannot evict the people, right? They made a momentarium stop or whatever, right? They cannot evict
Correct.
them, but the landlord or the owner of the property is still getting charged by the bank.
Correct. Yeah.
So
So
how?
it's
So
a chain. No, it's a chain.
yeah, it trickles down. But the only person or the only entity that's not being affected is the bank. The bank is
Correct.
the only one
Yeah.
that's not going to lose because when they lift the foreclosure or the eviction, the bank comes in and goes
That's
foreclose,
true. That's
and
true. That's
now
true.
two people are going to lose. The landlord is going to lose because he's going to lose the property because he wasn't able to get the rent, and the person paying the rent loses out. So you're going to have two people losing. The bank is going to win. The bank can't lose, and technically, you're going to shut down businesses. Perfect. Shut down businesses. It's totally cool. But the bank needs to stop collecting the mortgage from the landlord. Like with my
Correct.
landlord, with my place, SKC, uh, I told my landlord, hey, can you not charge me for these 3 months that I wasn't allowed to to work or open
You,
up from March
you
to June?
couldn't. Couldn't.
And can you grab those 3 months and add them on to the end of my lease? And I'll pay you back then. And she said, I can't do that. You have to pay me now. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not able to make money. I'm not able to make an income. So I decided to close down and shut down. And that's the decision I took. But dude, I hate to end it off in a sour note, in a sad note and stuff like that with that. But we got to do this again, bro, because I enjoy talking to you and you have a lot of smart things to
I
talk
love it,
about
man.
and stuff
I
like that.
love
And
it.
like I told you, there's nothing off limits. We can talk about everything and anything. But
Thank you.
maybe you can plug your website right now, so those people that listen and they need some immigration help and stuff like that, or they need a
Thank you.
great
Thank you, bro.
lawyer who
Thank you so
can,
much.
if he doesn't win, he'll still kick the other lawyer's ass because this guy's a black belt, right? So
That's
what's your
good.
website? What's your telephone number? Tell us, dude.
Thank you, bro. I mean, my website is abogadoluisvictoria.com.
Okay.
Abogadoluisvictoria.com. Even if for people,
abogadoluisvictoria.com.
yeah, for people who don't speak Spanish, is Luis, like a Luis,
Mhm.
Victoria, like Victoria's Secret,
Okay.
law.com. LuisVictoriaLaw.com. But
luisvictorialaw.com. Perfect. I'll
yeah,
make
and
sure.
the other
I'm
one is
I'm actually
Abogado
gonna
Luis
be
Victoria.
is going to be here in front. You guys are going to be able to see the actual letters, so you guys can see
All
that.
right.
What about where can
And
they reach you? Phone number.
yeah, the WhatsApp or phone number is 305-482 1595. I repeat again, 305-482-1595.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, man, I enjoyed talking with you. You're pretty freaking
Oh,
awesome.
me
You're a
too,
cool
man.
guy, and let's do it again
Thank you,
one
man. You
day
too.
again. All right, because I think you next, you have a lot of information that people may want to hear and talk about. But this was
Thank
dope, man. I really enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, guys. Kid Got Your Ticket, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.